So today's thought of the day, as the agenda is already set, burnout happens when you ignore your truth. So if I may ask you, how many of you have ever kept driving even when your car's fuel indicator was blinking red? And how many of you are doing exactly with your life right now? Thank you. And today we're talking about something epidemic in our always on culture: burnout. But here's what most people get wrong: burnout isn't just about working too hard, it's about something much deeper. It's what happens when you ignore your truth for so long that your entire system starts breaking down. So, think of burnout like driving with your foot constantly on the accelerator while ignoring all the warning lights on your dashboard. The oil light comes on. That's your body saying, I need rest. You ignore it. The temperature gauge spikes. That's your emotions saying, this doesn't feel right. You push through. The fuel runs low. That's your values saying, this isn't who I want to be. And you keep going anyway. And then one day, the engine just stops. Complete breakdown, and that's burnout. The tragedy isn't that the car broke down. The tragedy is that was screaming warnings for months, and we chose not to listen. So let me share a true story about Rohit. He's 26, works at a startup, puts in 12 hours days. Everyone thinks he's burning out from overwork. But here's what's really happening: he's an introvert who needs quiet processing time. But his job demands constant collaboration and brainstorming sessions. He values creativity, but he's stuck doing data entry. He believes in work life balance, but his company culture celebrates grinding until midnight. So the problem isn't the 12 hours. The problem is that all 12 hours are spent being someone he's not. And let me compare this to somebody else, Meera, a doctor, who also works 12-hour shifts. But she chose medicine because she values healing people. She's naturally detail oriented, which her job rewards. And she finds meaning in her exhaustion because it aligns with her purpose. Same as one burns out, one doesn't. And the difference? Alignment with truth. So now gets real about the causes. One, saying yes too often. So every yes to something that doesn't serve you is a no to something that does. That committee you joined to look good, that extra project you took to prove yourself, that friend's wedding planning you volunteered for when you're already drowning. Each misaligned yes is a deposit in your burnout account. So, ignoring body signals. Your body is not being dramatic when it craves sleep at 2 p.m. It's not being weak when your shoulders tense up during certain conversations. It's giving you data. But when we have been taught to override it with coffee and push through, what will happen? Burnout. Then living against values. If you value honesty, but your job requires you to manipulate customers, you'll burn out. If you value family time, but you're working every weekend, you'll burn out. Your soul has an immune system, but it rejects what doesn't belong. So here's what actually heals burnout. And it's not just a 2 week vacation. Rest plus honesty plus return to truth. So the healing formula is rest plus honesty plus return to truth. If I talk about rest, not just sleep, but soul rest. Time when you don't have to perform, achieve, or be on. Time to just exist. Honesty, getting brutally honest about what's not working. That job that pays well but makes you dread Mondays. That relationship that drains you. That version of success you're chasing that isn't even yours. And return to truth. Remember who you were before the world told you who to be. What energizes you naturally? What values do you refuse to compromise? What would you do if you weren't afraid of judgment? So, this isn't about quitting everything and moving to Rishikesh. Though, if that's your truth, of course, go for it. But this is about small daily realignments that honor who you actually are. So, prevention is simpler than cure, but it requires daily honesty. So, three quick check ins: energy check, that is, what gave me energy today? What drained me? Am I honoring the pattern I see? The emotion check, what am I feeling right now? What is this emotion trying to tell me about my choices? Authenticity check, did I show up as myself today or did I perform a role? Where did I betray my own values to fit in or get ahead? So these aren't selfish questions. They are maintenance questions, like checking your car's oil. Ignore them long enough, and you'll pay a much higher price later. So, right now, I want you to get comfortably honest with yourself. So, please take out your phone or a piece of paper and write down this question. The question is, where am I pushing myself against my truth right now? Let me repeat. Where am I pushing myself against my truth right now? Maybe it's that course you are taking because your parents want you to, not because you do. Or maybe it's staying in a job that pays the bill but kills your creativity. Or maybe it's saying yes to social events where you desperately need alone time. Or maybe it's pretending to be the strong one when you need support. And maybe it's pushing your body beyond its limits because everyone else does it. Write it down. Be specific. And then write this: one change I can make this week to realign. So I believe you have written the question. And after that, write this: one change I can make this week to realign. Of course, not a complete life overhaul. One small change. Maybe more sleep, saying no to one commitment, or having an honest conversation, asking for help, setting a boundary, taking a proper lunch break. In fact, before the beginning of the session, I just mentioned it to Sejalji that I definitely need more sleep today because too tired. So that feeling you just felt while writing, that mix of relief and fear, that's your truth trying to breathe again. So here's what I want you to understand. Your truth isn't a luxury you can afford when life gets easier. Your truth is the foundation that makes everything else possible. When you honor your truth, you don't just prevent burnout, you access a sustainable source of energy that doesn't depend on external circumstances. You become someone who can give generously without depleting yourself, work hard without losing yourself, and rest deeply without guilt. So here's my challenge for you today. For the next 7 days, practice the three daily check ins: energy, emotion, authenticity, and implement that one change you just wrote down. Start small, but start, because the world needs you at full capacity, not running on empty. Your truth isn't the problem, ignoring it is. So stop driving on empty. Your life is worth more than proving you can push through anything. Honor your truth is the only way to sustainable success. So, with that thought, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today.